It's the news we'd been hoping for.
The lockdown will be lifted from 12 noon today.
Just one linked community case in Queensland, 0 new cases in New South Wales.
Easter is good to go.
But for Bluesfest fans and acts hoping for a backflip, disappointment.
The festival going ahead would have been great, but it's just a postponement as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, nice attempt at softening the blow, Premier, but according to your own public health alert, it's cancelled.
And we've been really looking forward to it. You know, it was cancelled last year, and yeah, we're really gutted.
Yeah, I was particularly devastated.
My heart goes out to everybody.
It's a kick in the guts for the local economy, which usually benefits to the tune of around $234 million.
When money comes in, it flushes, I guess, through the wider ecosystem of our community, and so it's going to be felt significantly.
And a devastating blow for an industry among those hardest hit by COVID.
Obviously, you've got the artists, but then there's like vendors, hotels, accommodation, flights, engineers, lighting crew, touring crew, gaffers.
The Bluesfest organisers have worked so hard. They've jumped through hoops and hurdles, spent so much money getting Bluesfest to a point where it is safe for punters.
In the end, though, that hard work wasn't enough to convince authorities who've been accused of double standards.
New South Wales on the 1st of July last year reinstated contact sports, so all of these other activities have been able to go ahead, but just the arts have been repressed and repressed.
My question to Gladys is, why are music events being treated so differently to sporting events? If it was a sporting event, they would make it work. But with something like Bluesfest, we're just being told, no, it's a cancellation.
Aussie rock royalty John Stevens was due to play at Bluesfest before it got canned, and he joins us now. So, John, we heard you this morning saying you're waiting for the phone call to say that Bluesfest was back on after the restrictions were lifted. How gutted are you that the call never came?
Look, we're all devastated, the call never came. But by the same token, how do you kickstart again, such a massive festival like, Bluesfest? I mean, with 1 day's notice to shut down. It was meant to start today, we're all gutted, but, I'm more gutted for, all the people behind the scenes, all the crews, the caterers, the transport people. I mean, the whole thing's just a disaster as far as we're all concerned. And considering New South Wales has been so great with this during this whole COVID period, to shut down the day before it opened it's very devastating. So,
John, I take it you get that it would have been too hard to ramp Bluesfest up again, but do you think the original decision was too early?
Yeah, I do. Personally, yeah, I do. Considering, as I said, the way that the Berejiklian government sort of handled the whole COVID crisis for New South Wales. This was a very, very quick response to shutting down the festival. So, look, you can't get everything right. She's been amazing for New South Wales, and I guess, it's premature considering Brisbane opened up again today. What can I say? We're all bummed.
John, there's organisers, of course, who just outlay heaps in the expectation that they'll get some of that back on an event like this. Does insurance cover that sort of stuff? Like, is there a way for them to be protected?
Well, I recently came to my attention that there's a business interruption insurance policy, which the film industry has been granted by the government in July 2020, so last year. So, for instance, when Thor went down because of COVID, and they're filming in Sydney, I guess everyone gets paid. The live music industry doesn't have that in place. So I think this is probably a good opportunity for government to speak to Peter Noble, obviously, and other promoters to speak to them about this business, interruption insurance policy.
John, we just need a Hemsworth to front a band. That's what we need.
Yeah, okay. How am I looking?
Pretty good, brother. Pretty good.
It's in very safe hands.
The Hemsworths can join my band any day, no worries. A lot more people.
John, I'm so sorry it's ended up this way. I hear that October's been thrown out as a possible alternative date. Let's hope that happens. In the meantime, thanks very much for speaking to us tonight.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
With so much content online, it's sometimes hard to keep up with it all. And let's face it, who has the time? The Project YouTube has you covered with the stories that matter. Hit subscribe for a daily list of the news that you need to know.